Hello and welcome to episode 119 of the FPL Hangover podcast, where we raise the bar and lower it on all things FPL related. We are back with you after a somewhat extended international break. We didn't do a pod after game week 3, and we've kind of been, I'd like to say relaxing for the last 2 weeks, but it's been anything but relaxing. There's so much shit going on in the world of FPL at the moment, especially if you're an Irish football fan. The last 2 weeks have been pretty mental, and an Irish football Manchester United fan even a little bit more mental. But yeah, we've loads of talking points at least, and we should be able to stumble through the dust that's been kicked up by the international break a little bit, and hopefully kind of get things going. Here to chat through some of the FPL talking points, and maybe has a little wild card he'd like to discuss. My podcast partner in crime, Paddy. How are you getting on, my friend?
I'm getting on great. The cat is out of the bag. The wildcard is activated. And I'm excited, even though if you went on Twitter, it would make you feel fucking depressed. The way people are going on about, oh, I wish I didn't activate my wildcard now with everything that's going on. Before we actually go in any further, can you give me and the listeners maybe some peace of mind about, what the fuck is happening with, all the shit that's up in the air? Is there Premier League players going to cut? Are we going to have these players playing? Are they not playing? Is like Ronaldo fucking getting binned off? Is Jimenez not allowed to come back to the Premier League? What's going on?
Yeah, it's been.
Tell me.
It's crazy. I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. There's been so much to talk about. Like, I don't know how coherent an episode this can be when there's so many question marks in there. But you're kind of referring to the whole international break and the Brazil kind of requesting that the FIFA basically forced the Premier League to enact a 5-day ban for players that breach international kind of break call-ups. And yeah, there is a chance that Brazilian players such as Alisson, Fabinho, Firmino, if he was even there. I know all the Argentinian lads who got taken off the field, they'll all be probably quarantining. There's just a load of shit. Like, I would just going to caveat this entire episode with the fact that whether you're wildcarding, whether you're not wildcarding, no matter what you've done, at this stage, stall on and wait till the pressers and Thursday. Wait till basically Friday afternoon till you know what the fuck is going on this weekend, and maybe then things will be a little bit clearer. Like, even for yourself, Paddy, you're wildcarding. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm on the wildcard.
I still wouldn't be looking at my team. I don't think I would like to look at my team on a wildcard right now because I wouldn't know what the fuck to do. You've got so many question marks.
Yeah, no. Look, come here. Do you know what? The international breaks, I like to actually take a wee break from the football. The fantasy football world. And, it feels like all of a sudden I've gone for a swim, I've come back, and it's absolute fucking chaos.
Yeah.
Like, I cracked the wild card, perfect team, sent it into the little group chat with Seamus and yourself. Seamus says it's shite. There's FPL Twitter is like saying that, there's so much up in the air at the moment.
There is.
So I guess, like, we're just going to, I don't know what the fuck this episode's going to be about, but we're going to do our best. But it's press conferences. Everything hangs on the press conferences this week.
Yeah, 100%.
And the news, and the fucking sports news. And with FIFA and Premier League, and they need to come to some kind of agreement, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, like, I was set before, actually, before we continue, we might as well talk about where we were left after game week 3 just quickly. So I had I think it was an okay game week. Game week 3, I'm basically set 157k now overall, which is fine. It's like the first start of the season. That's exactly where you want to be. You don't want to, not that it matters a whole lot, but that's it was I'm pretty happy where I am right now. I got 64 points in game week 3, and yeah, as I said, 157k. What about you, Paddy? How did you get on in game week 3?
I'm fucking delighted for you. I'm over the moon. Where am I? I got I had the very just above average score of 57 points this week, and another captaincy blank by me. I had it on Fernandes. Probably the last time that Fernandes will ever be captain to my team. for the rest of the season. Well, he's probably going to be leaving a lot of FPL teams now that Ronaldo's back. Would you not agree?
He is, but no, we'll get into that later. We'll get into that.
Yeah, well, I'm fucking just saying, yeah.
I think I'm feeling pretty sentimental right now because maybe I understand what you mean in the sense of like this, like how does a player go from being the most talked about one of the top 2 most talked about assets at the start of the season to being taken out of your team by game week 4? And I don't even blame you. Like I don't even think it's necessarily wrong.
Well, look, come here. There's, the GOAT is here. He's not going to be. He's here. He's not going to be fucking not hitting penalties. He's going to be doing everything. And Bruno won't mind either because he had posters on his wall of Ronaldo when he was a baby. Anyway, it was a mediocre. It was terrible. It was shite. Calvert-Lewin and Wilson pulling me out. 9-9. Salah 10 and Digne and Shaw and Alexander. Trent got me a couple of points there, 4 points. I think it was BPS there that got him to 4, but. I felt really like terrible. I was like, "Fuck, that's my second captaincy blank, all right?"
Mm-hmm.
And like 57 this week, 60 the last week. Still, I'm like fucking Bob Geldof on Live Aid. I'm still, milking that game week 1 score. That's what's going on. And then I got this lovely email from the Premier League. That one they'd give everyone.
Yeah.
Give you a review, and I'm averaging 74 points per game week, and they told me that I was like a king without a crown and all this shit. Maybe they didn't say that exact line, but
it's a pretty specific line for them not to have said.
Yeah, I know, but maybe it's something in a way about a king or a crown or something. But that was actually the line that racist Too Good FPL said.
Oh, exactly. I was like, oh.
when they took the fucking crown off him.
Yeah, that's
so maybe they're using it as a gag. Maybe he's still getting those emails.
Maybe he's getting royalties.
And they want to remind him every day that he's a dirty racist. But anyway, I got that email and it picked me up. Do you know what? I actually made a video about it. I was fueling up the car in County Mayo and I was at a spar and I got this email. I was like, oh my God, this made, it's only 3 game weeks in. Like,
yeah, no.
Relax, Paddy, relax.
So you felt all cheered up. You went, you know what? I'm gonna hit my fucking wildcard.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna get that 74 average, and I'm gonna get that fucking 80. I'm fucking ready, man. So fucking blew the beans. Wildcard activated. Picked the most beautiful team.
Okay.
Is that it up there? Have you got it up?
I have it up.
That's what she said.
Yeah. I have it up for the visual listeners. That's what she said.
Right, just back to you now, Jer. Talk me through that magnificent fucking team.
I will.
And put Seamus to shame. Shame Seamus.
Well, he's criticised this heavily, and I don't know how much of it is bitter grapes.
Better. All of it.
Yeah, maybe because he wanted to be here tonight, but he's being a responsible adult, and he's got baby daddy responsibilities to take care of, and I'm sure he's listening to this now, sobbing a little bit.
Yeah, and we respect that.
Yeah, we
respect that. Yeah.
We do. I mean, on air we do. Off air.
Yeah, on air. Off air. Yeah. Yeah.
But he's. I don't know. I think he's probably taking the piss. It's. I'm looking at it for the first time. I mean, nothing's blowing my mind. I think it's pretty. No, not in a bad way. It's that nothing is standing out as like, oh, that's a mistake. Do you know? I mean,
okay, yeah.
It's like Diaz is interesting. I've seen a lot of fucking rate my team wildcards flying around Twitter, and we actually did a big wildcard discussion on the FPL surgery on was it Sunday night or something like that? That's probably up on YouTube. That was good crack.
Yeah, I really enjoyed drinking Flappy, James, and Dave under the table.
Yeah, well, I think they knew that was going to happen. They just needed some strong competitors. But that was great crack. So go check that out over on their YouTube channel and subscribe if you like what you see. And subscribe here if you like what you see as well. But back to the wildcard team. Like, you didn't discuss Diaz that night when we broke down wildcard players. I mean, that's a bit of a curveball, do you think?
Yeah, well, I was fucking loaded. It was a drinking night. But, I don't discuss everything all of the time anyway. Some I'm a sporadic kind of a person. You know, things just come into my head and it happens.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. But I'm not like, you know, I wouldn't tell my wife that I was captaining someone and then do it and then not tell them.
Yeah.
The people, you know.
Well, for the audio listeners out there, you've gone with Sanchez, Cody, Diaz, Trent in the back three, Rafinha, Benrahma, Salah, Fernan Torres in the middle, Jimenez, Calvert-Lewin, Ronaldo, and then Manquillo, Williams, and Gilmore subs. So a 3-4-3 essentially with Gilmore and potentially Williams, I assume, being starters. And yeah, I mean, the first thing that strikes my mind there, Paddy, is Diaz. As I said, I'm looking at that and I wasn't.
You don't like that?
It's not that I don't like it. I'm just
You reckon I could maybe downgrade and push funds somewhere else?
I just want you to tell me why you went Diaz.
I think I wanted some nice City defensive cover. And also, bear in mind, this wildcard was just kind of done. There wasn't a lot of overthinking in it.
Yeah.
It was, I just fired in. You know, I liked Diaz, but, you know, this could all change by Saturday, and it probably will, you know, some of it. But I feel that I've got a nice balance. Another thing, by the way, I want to credit you on the Jimenez, because you were speaking about Jimenez on the surgery pod.
Blew up this week, didn't it?
Yeah, it did then.
Everyone's talking about Jimenez.
Yeah, everyone's talking about Jimenez. But now the worry is on me about the, you know, is he going to be in the fucking Premier League?
I mean, that's where I was after Game Week 3, Paddy. It was like, I was fully confident that my only move, no wildcard, I'm skipping Ronaldo, Danny Ings to Jimenez. That's my move. And then next week, Son to Rafinha. And then in Game Week 3, I turn my 4.5 striker into DCL in time for Norwich. That was the plan. You know, hopefully nothing went wrong. Oh no, you spoke too soon. Now Son's got a bit of an injury. Jimenez is part of those players that went away, or at least involved. I don't know, that maybe potentially might not be fucking playing, and due to, you know, this whole 5-day thing, so quarantining, I don't fucking know. Like, there's a chance that he's part of the Brazilian and Argentinian lads, South Americans, that aren't going to be playing this week. So there's question marks over that. And I was worried enough as it was. I'm hoping we get a bit more clarity tomorrow, though, Paddy. So
yeah, because I really want to have Jimenez now in my team.
Yeah, but you laughed at me. You said it was a terrible pick on Sunday.
I did fucking not.
Yes, you did.
How dare you? How dare you? I'm going to have to listen back to that surgery pod again, because I don't know what was said and what wasn't said. But I had Cody myself.
Okay.
In that team, and I like Wolves have got good fixtures. I was looking at some stats of Jimenez. I'm not going to repeat them. Can't remember them, but they were really fucking good looking. You know, He was like just right behind some of the guys that have been performing really well. And he just wasn't getting the goals. Dare I say it, the XG was looking good.
Well, I don't know. He basically had a lot of chances, like 11 shots in the box and 1 shot on target. That was kind of worrying. I did a little article for the Scout this week where we pick our wildcards, like exact same fucking thing as the surgery. We pick one player for each position, and that'll be up in the Scout pretty. Maybe it's up already. I don't know.
Oh, look at me! I work for the Scout.
You do know that this podcast is affiliated with the Scout. You also are indirectly associated with them. And you also can subscribe with the link that's linked down below. You know.
See the way I segued you into that?
You did.
Do you like that?
You did.
No, I love the Scout, but I love everyone.
You do. You're a personable guy, Paddy. Do you know?
Thanks, man.
But yeah, I did an article, and Jimenez was the guy I picked as in the striker spot. I mean, I didn't want to go with the obvious fucking like Ronaldo. I mean, of course, you know, that's maybe the player you want, but. Yeah, your stats are pretty decent. It's just, it's hard to justify a player in a team that has yet to score this season. That's what's kind of fucking freaking me out. Am I going too early?
Jer.
Yeah.
That's the game. There's no point picking the guy after he scores, because then everyone picks him. You want this? That's how you win FPL. You have to pick the guys before they fucking score, before they take off. Just like, you know, with Lingard, someone, you know, took a punt on him, and then he scores 1 goal. Every fucking Tom, Dick, and his dog and Harry were on Lingard, you know. So, do you not think that getting on Jimenez now is a good thing, you know, in that regard?
No, I do. I think it's not like you're absolutely stuck there if nothing works out. Do you know what I mean? It's not like,
Yeah.
oh, I can never move off him. He's an okay price, so you're not expecting a rake of shit. Wolves fixtures have Watford, Brentford, Southampton, Newcastle, Villa, and Leeds in the next 6. So, I mean, even if, like myself, you're hoping to get up to game week, like get past game week 7 and then activate a wild card, that's Watford, Brentford, Southampton, and Newcastle. You know, there's not exactly...
Well, if he can't score a fucking bag of goals against them teams, he may stop. He may just become a snooker player. Like, there's goals in them games.
There is, and he's on penalties. Well, at least I'm assuming he's on. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be still on penalties. So, I think Jimenez is a good pick, and you're getting a tick there. If I was any bit,
Well, that's your pick. You're just taking your own pick. Like, I got that pick from you on the surgery pod.
No, you're right.
I stole that from you.
Paddy, I'm here to help you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, and everyone. There's no.
By the way, I've stole him from Antonio. I've replaced Antonio for him.
Oh,
how does that make you feel?
Yes, that's interesting. Transferring Antonio out, so fuck the value, eh?
Fuck the value.
Oh, fuck me, that's crazy, Paddy. I wouldn't have done that.
I mean, sorry, I never had Antonio.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
I had him in my wild card, and then I fucked him out for him, so I don't have any value in Antonio. I just wanted to say that. Sorry,
okay. No, that's way more justifiable that you would maybe not go to Antonio now if you'd never been on him, but if you had gotten all the hauls at the start, the 1, 2, 3 double digit hauls, you probably would have had a much tougher time letting go of him. But I get you. I don't know if I would want to be without Antonio, at least not until he starts slowing down. West Ham have Southampton up next, then United, which, you know, on paper is tricky, but, you know, so Antonio's capable of scoring against anyone, and West Ham, I've always felt are a bit of a bogey team for United, and it's at home. So, you know, Southampton and at home United, Leeds, Brentford, Everton, Spurs. I would like Antonio in my wildcard team, but you have got DCL and you do have Ronaldo, so assuming we just put a pin in the Ronaldo conversation for a second, the question is, do you go Jimenez or Antonio, really? Because I assume DCL is nailed in the team for you. You've had him.
Yeah, DCL's nailed, and, you know, I'm loyal to DCL, and he's on penalties.
He's on penalties, and Everton have, like, ridiculously nice fixtures. Burnley, Villa, and Norwich the next 3.
Yeah, so I'm not moving. The big question is, Jimenez, for me, outscores Antonio with his line of fixtures.
Well, fixtures wise, I think it's definitely a little better. I think form wise, obviously, it just depends on where you want to look at it. Because form wise, Antonio is going to tear Jimenez a new one. You know.
Well, bookmark this.
I will.
I'm probably going to keep going with Jimenez unless, you know, we hear he's locked up with everyone else. So yeah, that and then, like, I guess, you know, just going back to what Seamus had me all hard a couple of weeks ago on our last podcast when he was talking about Bamford. I had Bamford in there as well, you know, my wild card for a while, but then I was like, if I'm going for Leeds now, maybe I need maybe Rafinha's the pick, but now Rafinha's probably banged up in jail too. So, like, what the fuck is going on?
That's the latest thing. Like, Rafinha I don't think Rafinha even went. He didn't travel. So, like, that's where the whole, you know, it's because they didn't release the players, so the players getting punished for, you know, something that I suppose in the current climate is very, very understandable. You know, not traveling to a red listed country. Yeah, so Rafinha is going. Like, you're going to have to keep your fucking eyes peeled. That's the thing with this wildcard. That now you've activated it, because I had a question today, and I was wondering, like, I'll put it to you, obviously. If you, like, now that you have wildcarded, are you happier or more pissed off that everything is that you've wildcarded, you know, in the situation that's happened? The fact that at least you're unlimited transfers, you can do whatever you want based on the press conferences. Whereas the likes of myself,
yeah, I'll give you my honest opinion. I'm happy, right? I'm really happy. I'm kind of an early wildcarder anyway, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. I wanted to rejig a few things around in my team. I have made a lot of changes, and I think for anyone who's out there saying, "Oh, I feel sorry for the wildcarders and all this shit," they're just jealous that they don't have the balls to fucking pull their wildcard.
But that's the thing. I think it's that statement that is kind of, it is being bandied about a little bit, and it's confused me, because I was going like, I don't know if I'm if I'm, envious or jealous, or envious or glad I didn't wildcard. I'm like, because there's so many question marks, and at least you'll get. I just don't. I'm afraid it'll be no fucking answers in the press conferences. That's what I worry about.
Yeah.
That it'll be just like, yeah, son has a bit of a calf strain. We'll give him a late fitness test. What good is that to me?
Yeah, I hear you. But you're not one of these people that are on Twitter going, oh, I wish I didn't. I feel sorry for the wildcarders, or you're not part of the debate. You're just happy with what you're playing your own game, and you're not bitching about it. But I mean, I do. If you go on Twitter now, there's people. It's like wildcarders versus non-wildcarders. It's always something versus something. And this week it seems to be, wildcard. Everyone's got a problem. Everyone's has a problem now with the people that have wildcarded. They're like, ha. They're all kind of a wee bit envious at the start because they were like,
because they'll have Ronaldo.
They had the FOMO, of Ronaldo.
Well, I have the fucking FOMO. I've been looking at it all week.
Yeah, they're exactly right. So they aren't pulling the wild card because, and fair enough, that's their their prerogative. They're happy enough not to. They're sticking to their guns, and I respect that. But I mean, like, I'm going for Ronaldo. I want Ronaldo on my team, and I have Bruno who's going to sink. He's going to drop in price, and Bruno now isn't justifiable to me. As what price is he? Is he
12?
12?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't have a 12 million player in my midfield that's not going to be getting, penalties and maybe free kicks and things when Ronaldo's here. It's another captaincy option that it'd be a waste in my team. Do you get what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've kind of brought it back around to the Fernandes-Ronaldo debate that's been raging as well. Like, whatever about the wildcards, that really fucked things up for Man United in the sense of FPL assets, and it really makes everyone think. I think it's great for the game, the fact that Lukaku, Ronaldo, and Kane, we now have 3 premium strikers. I think I said this maybe last week, but yeah, that's great for the game. It's definitely wrecked my head, and I do agree with you. I think Fernandes is gonna take a hit from not having the penalties. I mean, like, that's the fact. That's a fact. That we can't really get around. I hope he keeps a bit of the free kicks, and maybe he takes the corners back a little bit, because obviously Ronaldo's getting right into the middle of the box for those corners, and maybe he gets a bit more of the set pieces, but I think the penalties are almost certainly gone, and it's going to be intriguing. I'm going, I'm no Naldo right now. I'm not.
You're biting the bullet.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's what's so fucky about this week, is that I could wildcard Saturday morning if all the things that potentially are about to happen.
Yeah, you'll be forced.
I might go, like, if Son is out, if Son's confirmed out, and all of these South Americans aren't allowed play. Like, I don't know. Maybe I do just fucking wildcard, do you know, the kind of way, and then just kind of go with that little pathway for a little bit. But for now, let's not worry about someone who's not wildcarding. But yeah, the question is, like, do you?
No, I don't regret it.
No, I don't think you should.
Do you know? And I'm just looking there, like, Lukaku. He's supposed to have had a thigh injury or something.
Yeah, he's also got a bit of. There's more yellow flags here in the fucking NFL game.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's but I I'm happy at the moment with my team, and if anything changes, at least I have the flexibility to change with the changes. And I know people are saying, "Oh, but you're not looking at long term." I'm sure I can figure a plan out with a wild card to get me safe through the storm. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, straight away, I'm looking at your team and going, all right. So DCL, he's got a bit of a knock as well. We haven't even talked about him. He's like, this seems to be the same kind of issue that he's had since the start of the season, and it hasn't stopped him scoring goals. So I wouldn't be overly concerned about it. But looking at the team, like, I'm going, yeah, that's your like, you have pretty much covered on the right places. The Diaz one, just going back to that, it is something that would, when you look at City's fixtures, in the sense of Leicester, who have, put them to the sword a couple of times lately. Leicester, Southampton, which should be grand, but then Chelsea and Liverpool away. I'm like, that's 3 out of the next 4 away matches. I don't want any of City, but having them sitting there in your wildcard is kind of like, or in your team, there's some money that if you needed to, kind of spread
Yeah,
out.
no, that's good. That's good. You know, to be honest, when I put Diaz in, I put him in there right with the thoughts of when I look at that defense, it looks like a sturdy back three. Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't paying too much attention to the fixtures. Let's be honest. Whenever you look at those fixtures, and Diaz, I could like now I have the option to downgrade Diaz. Maybe before Saturday I might pick something else. Who do you think? What would be a good like if you take Diaz out of there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there with Cody and Trent. That doesn't look as attractive, and I know it's not about what your team looks like, but
No, it is. It's all
who?
aesthetics, Paddy.
Yeah, well, what third defender do you think slots in there just for the next couple of game weeks? Then can you
Yeah.
enlighten me, maybe?
Well, I mean, like, I think there's obviously the United still have a decent set of fixtures. I mean, Newcastle, way to West Ham, Villa. I mean, they're not the best, but I think if you're looking at the big teams, for example, if you were going to invest money in the big teams that you like you've done with Diaz there, I would invest it in Chelsea before I'd invested in City right now. Just because, yes, Chelsea also have Spurs and City in 5 and 6, but this is long-term pick, and I think at least you've got your Chelsea spot covered. Whereas with the City spot, like I don't know how much I really want City's defense right now. I don't know. I think there's cheaper options in there. You know, the likes of Rudiger, and I think Christensen's played all 3 matches. He's only 5 mil. Do you know? So
That's something to look at for sure.
yeah, I mean, and there's also the like. How many Liverpool players have you got? Just looking at it there.
2, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, there is the potential to double up on Van
Yeah.
Dijk. You know, Liverpool still have.
Yeah, and you know what? Like you say, the United fixtures aren't too bad. I could go back to Shaw, maybe. You know.
Or Varane, he's picked up some baps in the last match, I think.
Varane, exactly. Just one. I have a question for you. What do you think of the Ferran Torres pick there?
Yeah, that's the other thing that stood out. It's like, you know, there's, you know yourself with the wildcard, there's certain little decisions that it kind of boils down to, and Torres is definitely one of them for wildcarders. I don't like hate it. I think it's a chance, but it's something that you can back away from. Like, for example, you could turn Torres into Jota. If Firmino is ruled out for whatever reason, then all of a sudden, you know, maybe you don't have the money. I know Torres or Jota is a little bit more expensive, but there is people to jump to from Torres, so I'm not too worried about taking a chance. But I think, you know, it's really in Pep's hands what happens there.
I have 1.1 million in the bank as well, so you know I have a little.
Yeah, exactly. So he could become.
Cash.
There's a good.
And of course, if I remove Diaz, I have another potential bit of money to.
Yeah.
So
Torres could become Jota if you wanted to just not take that risk. You've got Leeds, Crystal Palace, Brentford, and Watford all in the next 5, and there's then City and United either side of that Watford fixture. But 4 really targetable matches, especially if Jota's nailed. And you know yourself. So that's just an idea. But I don't hate the Torres pick. I think, like, yeah, it's tough. It's. I'd probably.
Am I chasing?
Are you chasing last week's points? Isn't that the?
Yeah, it feels
like
chasing.
thing?
But it's the OOP as well, and the fact that now they seem to be playing Jesus out on the wing.
Yeah.
And they haven't bought a fucking striker. Like, and I'm sure he's caught Pep's eye. Pep probably thinks he's a genius. You know, he'd be stroking himself. You know, he put fucking Torres up top, and look what happened.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but how long does that last with Pep? You know what I mean? Like, boom! All of a sudden, like, we've got KDB coming back. Like, I think Torres is probably going to turn out to be some kind of fucking diamond this year. It's like, oh, look, the 7 million Man City guy. And that's kind of where I'm hoping it lies. But if I was wildcarding, I would probably go with Jota and then look to go down to Torres if I thought if I got some more information, you know, because the fixtures are easier for Liverpool. Simple as that.
Do you know what? You've sold me. I'm doing that right now on the pod.
Live. All right. Well, I mean, like, so you go down to you go up to Jota. I think as it technically is, that's, you know, you still have 500,000. If you brought Diaz down a little bit to someone, I mean, you'd have a shit ton of money. You could probably boost one of those mid defenders. You know, I don't know if I'd want Menkio and Williams. They're both 4.0s, aren't they?
They're like my fucking defenders. They're like
but
they're gutter.
If you have that money in the bank, Yeah, I would be just throwing them onto one of your 4.0 defenders and turning them into something real. But we got other questions in this week. Let me just pull them up. So, regular of the show, FPL Uncorked, Kean, you guys don't know him. He's been on the goddamn thing.
Oh, we know him. He's the Irish goat.
Irish goat. He asks, how many goals and assists does Ronaldo have to get over the course of the season to justify his FPL price tag?
15 goals.
15 and goals and assists.
No, we'll go like 10 assists.
Yeah, I don't know. I think to justify his price tag. See, what I like about Ronaldo's price tag is that you don't necessarily have to justify his price tag. You just have to justify having a premium price player in your forward line, which is why I would, if I was wildcard, I probably would go the Ronaldo route, and I will go Lukaku in game week 7 for that same reason, because then you can fuck around a little bit. You can target fixtures, the likes of Kane, the likes of Lukaku, the likes of Ronaldo. They're all interchangeable. Maybe I'm just being a cheeky kid and avoiding the question in terms of
no, but I think that it's a good question, right? And it's a fun question. But ultimately, the answer only lays with, it's not even about does Ronaldo outscore Lukaku, and Lukaku's a million less. The real answer, or the real question is, it's not even a question or answer. It's about how well, if you have Ronaldo 12.5, right? You're at the top of the tree. You can come down to Lukaku for game week 7, or a nice little game or whatever. You have to just play the fixtures as well, isn't it? Like, you're not, I think I'm not going to have probably Ronaldo in for the whole. I might,
unless he's smashing it, then you don't give a shit.
Yeah, unless he smashes forms as amazing all. But I can see myself easily doing a hokey cokey with maybe Ronaldo and Lukaku, depending on fixtures, or Ronaldo and Kane. I've got that option, and I know maybe will Ronaldo rocket up in price, and I might lose a bit. I don't know about that, but I'm definitely thinking, at least if I have him there, I have no problem going down. But if you don't have him, it's really tricky to get him in, isn't it? If he does bang.
Yeah. Well,
do you know what I mean, Jer?
No, for sure. I mean, like, looking at like Salah last year, he's 12.5. He's a 12.5 midfielder. So, like, he scored 22 goals and 6 assists last year. 19 the year before, 10 assists. So, I mean, what does Ronaldo really need to do to justify that price tag? I think he needs to be hitting in and around the same kind of points per minute kind of thing, that Salah's doing.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be looking at. I mean, there's if Ronaldo isn't hitting it, there's going to be someone else.
But it's not fair, because Salah's like a fucking midfielder and he's not.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not expecting Ronaldo to necessarily hit the points totals that Salah got, the FPL points.
He has to stay. He has to be up there with Kane and Lukaku.
Yeah, I think so. I think he just has to be hitting anything between 15 and 20. I'm like, yeah, fine. I mean, especially if there's a few assists thrown in. But fucking, I don't have a clue. Like, I mean, like, I'm really hoping that he's a slow starter. Like, do you think he starts this weekend?
Yeah.
See, I have a niggling feeling he won't, and I feel like I'm just trying to convince myself of that. But I just think, when you look at, like, Sancho not starting, even though he was with the team a bit longer, I feel like he brought Sancho off the bench a couple of times. Cavani didn't go to South America. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't.
If you make me overthink it, I can easily say no, because he might try and bring him on to the ovation of the crowd.
Yeah.
He might walk him out like he did Varane. I don't know. Like, no, he won't do that. But I mean.
But I know what you mean. He might make it.
He might play on. It's at home. It's at Old Trafford.
Yeah, it is.
On
Premier Sports. So suck that, England.
They might get a bigger pop if he came on. But I mean, he has to be on the fucking team sheet. Like, there's.
Oh, he's on the team sheet, but I just.
I mean, he has to be on the starting team sheet. Like.
I think Ole does a power play, leaves him on the bench.
I think he plays 60 minutes, comes on for Cavani for being top man, and
Giving him the number 7.
Giving the jersey up.
Yeah, maybe. I guess I'll put that little worm in the back of your mind now, Paddy, for the rest of the week. But we have another question. It's more like a wildcards rate my team, which kind of fits in with the whole theme of the episode. It's from another regular @particle_impact nuclear Adams. You definitely know him by now if you've listened to this before. This is my wildcard team. My plan is to get Rafinha for Benrahma in game week 5 and in game week 7 get Mount for Jota. So thoughts on my team and what would you do differently? So for the listeners out there, his team is 2 4.5 goalkeepers Sanchez Raya, so that's the first thing I do differently right there. But yeah, 2 4.5 keepers Sanchez and Raya, Williams, Christensen, Alexander Arnold, Dyer, Semedo, Gray, Benrahma, Torres, Jota, Salah, Antonio, Armstrong, and Ronaldo. So, yeah, I mean, an incredibly strong team if you ask me there. Looking at that, Paddy, can you see it on your screen?
No, but I'm just going to get his tweet up there. I should have been doing that while you were calling that out, but I'm sure it's under his last tweet. Is nuclear what?
Nuclear @particle_impact, but if you just go to our page you'll find it. But I mean, looking at it here, as I said, the 2 4.5 goalkeepers, both good options. I don't see the point of having the two of them. Really don't. So that would be the first thing I would do differently. Benrahma in game week 5 turns into Rafinha next week. So yeah, I think that's a good shout. And then game week 7 you get Mount for Jota. Yeah, no, I mean you're hitting all the spots. I like the defense a lot. I like Christensen. I think that could be a good shout. Alexander Arnold, yeah, I don't think he should be.
Don't like Dyer.
I don't. I mean, 3 clean sheets in 3 matches. For Spurs, I wouldn't be poo-pooing him straight away, Paddy.
Yeah, well, just think.
I mean,
okay.
I'm with you in the sense that like they have Chelsea and Arsenal in the next 2 game weeks. And it's just Crystal Palace away this week. So Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Arsenal, and then Villa Newcastle before West Ham in game week 9. So like they're kind of mixed. But I don't hate it. It's a cheap 4.5. I'd probably be looking to 8ing or something like that. Semedo, he's like the expensive version of your Cody, Paddy.
Yeah.
Why didn't you splash out in Semedo?
Just for the money. I think I just wanted to keep the... I know Semedo's got some good attacking stats, doesn't he? Or he's some good stats going up there, and
I think he's got an incredibly high amount of touches in the box. I'm pretty sure
something like that. I don't know. I just think for maybe 0.3. Who knows? Maybe, no, I'm happy enough with Cody. I think at 4.5. But is he playing? Let's see what he's playing there. It looks like
he's got a full team. Like he could, with the exception of maybe Williams, like he's going to be picking and choosing all week.
Like a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3.
He can play whatever he wants with a formation like that. Yeah. I'd imagine he'd end up playing a 3-4 or a 3-5-2 and then taking Armstrong. Like the question there, like Adam Armstrong, is he?
He's just giving himself benching headaches, isn't he? Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. But I mean, that's kind of. Like, yourself, you've been there. You know what it's like to kind of have those things. Looking at your team, when you had that much money left, like I thought to myself, oh, well, where do you put that money? Because you kind of have all the players you want. And I think this is an example of it because he's really filled out the whole team. But if you did want to target someone specifically, there's plenty of prices to chop. But all in all, Nuclear, that's looking.
It's a decent team.
Mad fan.
It is. It's a really good team.
Do you worry about Gray for Everton? Have you looked into him? 5.5?
I haven't fucking looked at near him. I haven't looked near him. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, like, I think, like, for the price, you don't have to expect too much. He's got 2 goals in 2 matches, so that's not something I'd really expect to continue. But Burnley, like we saw DCL, Burnley, Villa, and Norwich in the next 3. You'd be tempted to take the plunge in him, especially if he was kind of a sub that might come on. At least you're not really overthinking it too much. But all in all, solid team, Nuclear. Paddy.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, you give it. What do you give it out of 10?
I think it's a solid 7.
All right. What would I give your team out of 10? You ask. Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah. What would you give my team? Bear in mind, it's completely different now.
You've just taken.
I made 2 changes. I took Diaz and Torres out.
Oh really?
And I've put in Jota and Varane.
You should be paying. You should be subscribed to the Patreon. You better be subscribed to the Patreon, Paddy.
But now I have no city, and it just feels weird.
But like, how much City do you really want for the next few weeks?
Not yet.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, like Leicester, Chelsea, and Liverpool in the next 4 matches. Like, no thanks. No thanks. Game week 8. See, that's why you should have waited, Paddy. You could have just went straight after City. No.
Look at Watford's fixtures down there. I might even stick Siren.
Watford being Wolves, Norwich, Newcastle, Leeds, Liverpool, and Everton in the next 6. Yeah, I see the issue. Why I would be happy to hold off of the likes of Sarr. Great price point, 6 million, but Watford seem a bit content with defending, and I'd like to see a few more kind of goals going in. Do you know that kind of way? Before I'd go with the 6 million. But I mean, there's plenty of options to mull over. Just before we leave your wildcard, it's back up there. Oh, I'd rate it with the changes you've made, a solid 8, maybe a 9.
Right. Okay. And without me changes,
it's a 7. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think like what I would do with the changes you've made, you've probably still got a few bob in the bank. Turn Manquillo probably Manquillo into another play-in defender. At least give yourself an option. You know, something like Leeds their fixtures are about to turn lovely, and I think Ayling is still 4.5. So I mean, you know, if you have 5 million in the bank, I'd rather have it in one of my defenders.
Yeah. No, I might try that. Yeah.
Or even Liveramento instead of Manquillo, because he's actually a play-in 4.1 as well.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with since we've been on here discussing and stuff, I'm quite happy now with my team and the fixtures that are there, and unless FIFA fucking
fuck it up for everyone. Yeah. I don't know. Before we wrap it up, folks, it's going to be a nice and short one this week, because I said there's so much shit happening that we're not going to pretend to, be able to give really really coherent advice, but then I suppose, do we ever do that, but before we go, I would like to run through the mini league. We didn't get a chance after the last episode, obviously, or after the last game week, because we didn't do an episode. So without further ado, that's the wrong bloody image. But yeah, there it is up on your screen there. In joint first place, we have Var You Kidding Me, Sean O, and the Rubber Duckies, Peter Ovington, both on 266. Fair play to you lads. Still smashing it. Yeah, I mean, what's their overall rank? So 266, 13k there,
Who's that, Rubber Ducky?
The two of them, they're both joint scores, so they're both in and around that 13k. Like, what more do you want? It's only downhill from here. That's what would terrify
Well done, lads. Well
done. In third place, another top lad, Gavin Doyle, your man in Mexico. He's got 265.
Fuck, he's a nice lad, him.
Yeah. Christian.
He's a good lad.
I didn't realize there was so many. Yeah, that's fucking how tight it was up there. That's 265. Fourth spot, Chris Joe TKL, he's got 264. Fifth, Rich Pannons, 263. Sixth, we've got FPL Dad, Rich Everson, he's got 262.
Dad, what a guy.
He's Simon Doody, 259. Tommy Brennan, 258. Our very own. I'm just waiting for you to say everything after every fucking thing.
I know, being a wanker.
Renegades, our very own Renegades Drew.
Fucking what a man.
Yeah, 9th, and our joint 8, and also Hangover OG Helen. I'm not even going to really pretend to be able to pronounce that surname, but Lena FC is 258. Cristo Duludes, or Dulides is how I would say it. Yeah, so fair play to y'all, and you're absolutely killing it. And I don't have a manager of the week this week because I've been too lazy, but yeah, there you go. That's the Hangover mini league. If you do want to join, that's still open. So I think the code is on the screens there. For any listeners, it's PC0861. PC0861. That's the mini league code. We'll leave that up for a few more weeks. And we'll see how things go. We did get a load of fucking merch. We ordered a load of merch this week, which is great. We have a cup. So Ken Corbley, if you're listening, this is actually about to... I'm still waiting for a few small bits that I can fill out the package with. But I'm so excited. The Champions mug has arrived. I'm not going to show it on the screen because I don't want anyone to see it before he sees it. Paddy, come on. This is, how family friendly we're trying to push this. This is going PG-13.
Sorry, Scout.
Yeah. I already plugged the skate. But that link is down below. But yeah, fucking. We bought a lot of merch and we'll be able to show that off hopefully next week. We'll be back with the usual shit. Paddy, tell everyone where they can find you and how to reach out to you and stuff.
You can find me at fplviking_ on Twitter, and you can find me at the Viking Dippers on Instagram, where I'm doing the Lord's work and swimming and raising awareness for as many charities as possible. This month, I'm actually swimming 5 kilometers for Laura Lynn. That's Ireland's only children's hospice. So jump over there. If you can't donate, support me. Spread the message. Spread the love. Do it for the kids.
Do it for the kids. Yeah, right. I'd love to see how much you're really hoarding, Paddy. I've heard about your cave.
Hey, you want to see me, man, out there swimming? I'm fucking kilt after like 300 meters. I'm not really a very good swimmer, but I'm doing it. And it's all there in my Strava.
What's a Strava?
Like you go into the water and you actually, you record your swims and stuff.
Cool. Sorry, I'm not. I used to know what it was, Paddy, but now it has changed, and
it's all good.
It's so good. Yeah, okay. Well, if you want to reach out to us, you can throw us an email at fplhangover@gmail.com, and then Twitter as well as usual at fplhangover. Seamus, he's at FPL Drunk if you want to reach out to him specifically. I do like to send all the dick pics that way. But thank you for listening. Keep an eye and an ear on those pressers and team news before you make any further decisions, because everything's kind of crazy. And enjoy Game Week 4, everyone. God bless.
Subscribe, like, retweet.
You got it, Paddy. You got it right in there.
Good.